Good morning, good morning, good morning. Bright, sunshiny day, first day in a while. Because it's been raining and cloudy, but today the sun is shining. And not much is going on this morning. Good morning, Andy. I think you're the first one here this morning. And let's see if Nightbot's working this morning. It doesn't look to be. Let me fix that real quick. There, finally clicked on. Good morning, Joseph. How are you this blessed sunny day? And it's supposed to be getting over 70 today. 63 right now. It was 55 when I took Lucy out for her walk earlier. So it's got up almost 10 degrees. And today's a wonder-filled day. Got a gentle breeze blowing. The sun is shining. And I see leaves everywhere. In Franklin, conditions are sunny with a temperature of 63. The wind is blowing from the northwest at 15 miles per hour. And the current humidity is 53%. In Andes, weather is conditions are sunny with temperature of 62. Winds blowing from the west-northwest at 5 miles per hour, and the current humidity 79%. Good morning, Christopher and Angela. Oh, Joseph is doing great. Just smoking 2 pork shoulders. That is wonderful. What kind of smoke are you using? And the weather for Lawton is conditions are sunny with a temperature of 72. The wind is blowing from the south-southwest at 7 miles per hour. The current humidity is 70%. Hickory and apple. Morning, cuz. So you're doing one hickory and the other one apple, or you're doing them both at the same with hickory and apple combination? You're doing both, okay. At the same time. That is wonderful. Good morning, Aaron. Good morning, Matt. There's Matt this morning. And here's Aaron. And today is the day for this cup. Oh, you're doing one for your parents. That's very sweet of you. All right, Lucy, come on up. Lucy says she's got to say hi this morning. There we go. Yeah, well, when you smoke shoulders, they end up coming a ham. Let's see. Aaron's live streams are at, I think, 7 o'clock tonight. And the dinosaur omelet goes live Thursdays at 9 p.m. Spent the morning peeling my hand and pickling a giant bucket of quail eggs by hand. Not so fun. Oh, peeling by hand. Okay. And that is grand. Good morning, Erica. Erica had some bad news this week. She lost a doling, and that was sad. And I love it when everybody gets together. We've got 8 watching. Lucy, go lay down. I brushed you for a long time yesterday, and I still got Lucy, and you still get a handful of hair. My nasturtiums are doing great. So are my borage. And my potato slips almost got drowned from the rain. I had to move them because the water spouts here are kind of overdone. Good morning, Mike. So I have to put more soil in that pot. Okay, Lucy, go lay down now. Enough is enough. No, no more. No. You can wait your turn. Yeah, I'll take you for a walk later. All right? Now, Mike does a lot of reviews on MREs. So if you're prepping, you like to get MREs, he'll tell you which ones are good. And that's for sure. Now, if you want to drop your links, everybody is welcome to drop their links by typing exclamation point quail. And Nightbot will share you out. Yeah, type exclamation point quail to drop your link, Mike. Everybody wants to see it. See, now here's Matt's. There's okay, and there's Mike's. Aaron, drop your link if you're still here. Because I know you go live tonight. And Matt, when are you going live? Is it going to be tonight or tomorrow? And Christopher, drop your link too. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Yeah, Mountain Time. Mountain Standard Time. Did you get the notification up yet, Matt? There you go. Aaron did his. Even though okay, now I see it. And Christopher, you need to drop yours too. Oh, who's having a baby, Matt? Who's having a baby? Andy's working on her quail house. She has to get a trunk cut down to the ground level and get the rest of the compost bin cleaned out. And you know what else you can do with that trunk, Andy? If you drill a couple 1-inch holes in it and put some compost starter in it, the next spring it would be gone. Oh, your sister-in-law, little girl, she's going to name Summer. Cool. Christopher, you type exclamation point in the word quail all together, and that's how you get to drop your link. It tells you right on my screen. Well, that's a good bargain. A very good bargain. There you go. There's another one if you want to know things not only quail, but anything dinosaur related. In other words, quail, chickens, a good resource for it. Christopher, I'll probably get hold of you later today to explain some things to you and show you. I'll probably do it under your personal name instead of as the dinosaur omelets. That way I can help you get things worked out that we talked about. Yeah, maybe sometime this afternoon. My pleasure. That's the only thing I'm good for is trying to encourage other people. I can't do what my heart really desires, so the only thing I can do is help other people. You gotta pardon me a moment. Sinuses are a pain. So, what has been your biggest success this week? We'll start off with a positive. With me, my biggest success is I got some things done. I've got some sprouts going. I've got my borage, my nasturtiums, and my sweet potatoes going. Annie says her grandkids have been helping her fill some of the tubs with the limbs from the bushes she's been cutting out from under the quail greenhouse before we fill them with compost. That is great. Yeah, Matt's blackberries. I seen his short on that. Oh, I found a mulberry tree in the neighborhood. And let me show you some of the things that I've been finding. Let me get them out. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm not finding everything I wanted. Let's see. They got the new chain link fence put in, and we got the old one pulled out yesterday. Things are moving along. That is wonderful, Andy. And Christopher and Angela's baby graduated high school. She'll be doing a major as chemical engineering in the fall. So non-homestead related, but lots of homeschooling. Chemical engineering could be homestead related if she was to test your soil and stuff like that. It doesn't really matter if she's homegrown. That's what matters. Good morning, Howie. So Okay, you guys, here's an interesting one to show you. Exactly, Christopher. Okay, this is a plant that's around here that I've found. Now, this here, I'm going to show you guys what I do when I find things that are interesting. My instinct tells me that's a good one. Huh, I came up with a different one. Before they called it historic spell. But it's vervain, native to the Great Plains of the central United States. Small pink flowers to lilac flowers. Or it's the common stork bills. I think it's more likely the common stork bills. Feels like I'm making headway with this project finally. With all the grandkids there to help you, you'll do great. And Andy, on the note, Christopher and Angela can answer a lot on that. But another person is Jenna, because Zach and Jenna homeschooled their kids till they went to high school. You probably could, Matt, but Spicy Mom would be the one that would be more into that because she's calm and she's very attentive to everything she does, and she doesn't have to work outside the home. That's always fun. Now, let me show you guys another thing that is going around here. We have got, can't get this to go down to where I want it to go. Oh, wow. You're both working full time right now. Now, this is another thing I found very close to where I live, and that is a cherry plum tree. And this is how much is over on the alley side of the tree fence. You can see the little plums right here, right there, and they're very neat. They went to regular public school, but he made sure to encourage a self-directed path of knowledge. Kids naturally want to understand the world, not forced learning, just encouraging. That's what I used to do when I was a kid. A lot of times what they were teaching in the school I was not interested in, but my best friend was the library, whether it be the public library or the school library. Yeah, but there's many things that Farmer Casey's interested in. And if you can go to a library or whatever and have him pick out books on things that he's interested in, and that would really, because a child's natural curiosity is what needs to be encouraged, because that'll keep them going farther than school. Give me a second here. I'm having a little twinge of pain. Of course, he needs encouragement to follow his curiosity. Christopher says that's why he enjoys the homestead community. Very self-driven people engaged in continuous learning. In another life, he was Mr. Rogers. I was considered a bookworm. There you go, cuz you got that right. For KC, Matt just needs to keep up. Exactly. Teach them to question everything. Matt says, And last, it says, yes, Steve. MKC, left to themselves, though, leads down some very interesting, curious ADHD paths. And you know another thing you can always do? You know how when you're trying to go to sleep and your mind just won't shut up? Jot down your questions that come to your mind, and then just tell your mind that way in the morning you'll find out the answers to those questions. You know, when people worry that they don't see they're going very far, but if you take a mental snapshot to what life was like a year ago, that shows you how far you've gone. Oh, Matt, I totally understand that. That's the problem I have, Joseph. Well, you guys, right back. I need to get me some more coffee. And I got to step over Lucy. She's right up against my chair. She's just not leaving me right now. Her life depended on it. She knows I'm doing my usual Saturday morning, and she wants to be right in it too. There is a beauty salon at the one of the corners of my block, and Lucy loves going in there because I give her treats. And I taught them a few of Lucy's tricks so that Lucy's not getting fat for nothing. She says he can't do it, he get no sleep. He has to have no answers to questions, so I'd be up researching all night. And because I do that often enough, sometimes I forget to go to sleep. As long as they're put back together, Matt, that's fine. My youngest daughter, when she was a year old, she got hold of one of the electric screwdrivers, and she was taking the screws loose out of the door jambs. So we had to teach her how to flip it over so she could tighten them back up. Besides, because, I think sometimes sleep is overrated. I have to force myself to go to bed at night. So when she got good at that electric screwdriver, I had a used appliance business. So I would give her the screwdriver at my shop and tell her to take the dashes apart. I know, that's the bummer. So much time wasted. Yeah, Matt, what I've learned to do is I set timers to remind me to do, like, to go to bed and stuff like that. Because even if I don't go to bed until 5 o'clock in the morning, I still have to be up at 8 to take Lucy out. And with Andy, it's whether she gets any sleep at all now that she's got all of her grandkids living with her. Excuse me. But Andy, you're doing good encouraging them to help you according to their age level. Filling those beds with hygge culture. But I read something recently, Matt, that you may want to think about. You have genes that even in your brain that go around and clean up the dead connections and stuff like that. If they say if you don't get enough sleep, they'll start destroying some of the good connections. But then they don't define what enough sleep is. Is that 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours? I just listen to my body. When I get too sleepy, I'll take a nap. But we're talking about sleep and it's making me yawn. In the old days, people used to sleep 4 hours at night and then 2 to 4 hours during the day. You know, so you sleep at the coolest part of the night and the hottest part of the day. Yeah, but when you get older, Andy, the younger you are, the more sleep you need. Like a baby will sleep off and on about 20 hours a day. Then when you become a senior citizen like me, 6 hours a day is enough. If you can get 6 hours in. I usually get about 5 to 6 hours in. Have a blessed day, Howie. When I was young, Joseph, I used to take power naps standing up, lean up against the barn, close your eyes for a few moments, and you'd actually drift a little bit. And then that would re energize me. New Mexico isn't the only place that does it. But a lot of seniors we don't get much sleep in at one time. It's just like yesterday, I was exhausted and I went to bed before 11 o'clock. And yeah, those dreams sometimes you think they're visions. Okay, here's another one that I found, you guys, that is interesting. This is sow thistle. And, it's very attractive for pigs, but the young plants are mildly bitter and quite succulent. Older plants are bitter and tough. The leaves and stems of both species can be cooked like vegetables, add to stir fries and stews. The juicy stems should be milked before cooking because the juice can turn parts of the plant brown. Yeah. So the sow thistle is a good plant. What awkward silence. That's what we're trying to find out, Aaron. Have a blessed day, Christopher and Angela. I'll get hold of you later this afternoon. Aaron, do exclamation point quail so you can drop your link. And have a blessed day, Christopher and Angela. There you go. Aaron, Matt wants to know what your diet and supplement plan is. I know they grow a lot of what they eat. Thank you, Steve. Andy says if you live on a time zone change line, can you gain extra sleep if you cross the line to sleep only? And Steve posted Aaron's link because Aaron refuses to type exclamation point quail. But then again, Andy, if you cross the line to sleep only, then when you're awake, you would lose that time anyhow. Aaron says it's coffee and tea. Yeah, Aaron. Maybe he'll give it tonight with this live stream. There, Aaron finally did it. Aaron, why don't you tell us what your weather is in your area? Type in weather in your zip code. Because we know you got it warmer than I do. He's packing egg orders to bring to the post office before the truck leaves at 11. Back to shipping 6 days a week. That's cool. Weather for cutoff conditions are fair with temperature 78. The wind is blowing from the northeast at 9 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 59%. I've never heard of cutoff. That reminds me, Aaron. I'm wondering where you sent the book at. Oh, you're on the border of Cutoff and Galliano. Okay. Whenever I see the word cutoff, I wonder what they cut off. Well, they got the same temperature. Yeah, but it's a little more humid in Galliano. Oh, okay. But what address are you sending it to my PO box, I hope? Alrighty, I can understand. Have a blessed day, Matt, and give that mama a hug for me. And we'll see you tonight. Will do, Aaron. And Joseph, what's happening in your homestead lately? And Erica, are you still here? Remember back the day when men were exempt from going to baby showers? Yeah, used to be. And welcome back, Erica. Not much been messing with your daughter's softball. Oh, okay, so you at least you support your daughter in her softball. Joseph is good at supporting everybody. He supports his daughter. He supports me. He supports a lot of people. He supports his dad. He's a very caring person. Oh, you got voluntoid? This cup is unusual. It has the thing here on the side, so when you can't see it when you, people can't see it when you're drinking the coffee. That's because you care for everybody. That's why you got voluntoid. Yeah, it shows everybody that isn't sitting with you. Well, that's cool. I think I have one of his. I think I have his original. Just in the morning, Andy, and even your name because, and even my name because he knows I get confused who I am. That is sweet. Steve still has the original. That's cool. You know what I think is funny, Annie, is when kids get tired. The different personalities when they are fighting sleepiness. My oldest daughter, when she got sleepy, she thought the whole world was against her. And that's when I knew it was time for her to go to bed. Exactly. I'm going to say something a lot of people don't realize is noisy kids and noisy dogs are not what you have to worry about. It's when kids or dogs are quiet, that's when you have to be afraid. Well, that's cool. So you still got the one with my name on it? Yeah. Person that made my cups disappeared. Yeah, that's usually when they think the whole world's against them, when they're whiny. And he says, that's true. When they get quiet and you think, oh my God, I can't relax. I'm going to have to go clean up the mess now. Exactly, Steve. If you tell them it's nap time, you think you just told them the world was about to end. Yeah. Because sometimes when you go to sleep, it's like they don't think they're ever going to wake up again. Yeah. Steve, you and Annie, you put that together with their fear of going to sleep thinking the world's going to end. You put that with having a parent that keeps talking about people that die in their sleep, and that kid ends up growing up with a fear that every time they go to sleep, they're going to die. Can you hear me now? Give me a 5 by 5 if you can hear me now. Okay. I thought I heard an echo when you sent to get coffee. It sounds the same. Okay. No, my computer mic doesn't work. That's why I have to use the phone mic. This here, the mic here. Good morning, Jacob. What you working on? Let me fix something here. Jacob doesn't have a wrench and he comes in often enough. There you go, Jacob. You got your wrench now too. Currently making herb strippers on the CNC and sanding bows. Okay. Yeah, that's so that you can check other people out when they come in or anybody that's in here. Then you just click the three dots by their name, and that way you can go to their channel. I love the humor in this community. He had to read that too. Yes, you definitely want to keep them away from anyone named Herb. Herb. No, Steve, I haven't. I've been so busy with other things. I know I'm lacking. I need to get busy on that. I know it's only a couple hour project. But I've been working on other things that are more pressing. Because I'm not going to have an air conditioner in here. Because the only place they can put the air conditioner, they have a downspout that floods that area and ends up blowing water in their apartment. So I don't need that. So I won't be able to use the freeze dryer when it's too hot. Yeah, I need to get that done. Quit putting it off and get that done this weekend. The first thing I have to do is empty the oil out of the pump and then put some fresh oil in it because they got too much oil in it. And that's probably where it is. Yeah, and with no Qualcomm this year, you're not being pressed to freeze dry a lot of stuff right away. But I'm 90% sure that that's where my problem is that I overfilled the pump. But I got to answer a call that can't be refused. And I'll be right back. Oh, okay. Now let me see what I missed. You mean your dad's, or did you get one back? Well, Andy, is it because the temperature of the North Pole? See, a freeze dryer pump puts off a lot of heat. I had a troll come after me on Facebook. Started last night, and I'm glad I haven't seen them in the room today. Good morning, Sue. Sue has some interesting ones. They do a lot of tourist kind of videos, which is very interesting. But anyhow, back to what I was saying. I had a troll. When you get 9 notifications overnight, 11 notifications overnight, and it's all the same person, and then they put a comment that they were blocked from sending you a friend request. You know what it is. I just freeze dried a bunch of quail eggs. When I put the powdered eggs in Mylar bags and sealed them, they had a bunch of moisture on the exterior of the bag. Did I ruin the eggs in the bag? I don't know why they would have a lot of moisture on the outside of the bag. You know what you can always do, Jacob? If you open up the bag, I would not think I ruined them. Just dry out the bags and put them in a different place to where they don't get some moisture. But you can put in the silicone packets along with the one that does the air, and that would keep moisture out of there too. And like C say, I'd be wondering how the moisture got on the exterior. Yeah, Mylar does keep moisture out, but if it's caused by such a deep temperature change, it may have moisture in it. It leaves the eggs are super cold coming out of the freeze dryer. They shouldn't be super cold when they come out of the freeze dryer. They should be warmed. Your tray should feel warm on the bottom when you're pulling them out. Because if it's too cold, it may not be dry enough. Because the bottom of your tray should be warm. Yeah. Oh boy. That's one thing. It's why I usually add extra drying time because I calculate about how long it's going to take for them to dry. Then I add the extra drying time so that it's still drying when I get up in the morning. Yeah, I think they'd still be fine too. Water on would not penetrate the mylar, though you can open them and ensure that they are still dry and reseal. Have a blessed day, Joseph. And that's one job I have to do with Lucy this weekend too, but not today. And you have a blessed day, Joseph. Well, the oxygen absorber, but you can also get the water absorber one too that pulls water out just in case. Because, like when you're doing candy, you need the water absorber one too, more than you need the oxygen absorber in some of them. Hey, Steve, can you do me a favor and give him a link to the ones that absorb moisture? Yeah, that's why oxygen absorbers with candy would make the candy hard. That's when you need the water absorbers instead. Let me see if I can find that link real quick. Silicone gel stacks. That's what they are. There you go. Thank you very much, Steve. You got it before I did. Ah, thank you for educating me, cuz. See, that's one thing about life. I'm always glad to learn something new. Exactly, cuz. That is an exact statement. Got to get some more coffee because this cup doesn't hold as much as Aaron's cup does. And when this is over, I have to make more coffee. I'm out of coffee already this morning. Might be my last cup. But that's one thing we love doing is we love sharing knowledge. Now, cuz, what have you guys got going around your place? And we still have 8 people here, and that's good. That's wonderful. I just finished sealing the cement flooring yesterday. That is great. That is wonderful. Jacob, you can also, if you're going to be using your powdered eggs and you don't need them for long-term storage, but just want to store them, you can also store them in your quart jars if you have a little sealer to pull the air out, to vacuum seal it. And Jacob, if you want to freeze dry meat, I would advise you to freeze dry it already cooked, because that seems to be better than freeze drying raw, in my opinion. You're coming along quite well, Steve. Well, on the freeze dried meat, depending on the type of meat and how it was cut and the thickness, if it's raw, sometimes it doesn't seem to get the moisture back into the center of the meat. Whereas if it's cooked, you can eat it like jerky. You can, yeah, yeah. Some of the quart jars, like I said, and it's had a butt ton of eggs and didn't want it to go to waste. Yeah, because yeah, then you want to put it in Mylar bags. Andy, with me, I don't like the raw meat when it's freeze dried. It takes forever for it to absorb enough water for you to get it to where you can cook it. It's so much easier and simpler when you freeze dry cooked meat, even if you just, you know, plain cook it without adding any seasoning to it. Then you can just put it into the boiling water to make your soups or whatever you're going to make out of it. Or you can eat it straight from the pack, straight from the bag as jerky. Yes. The stuff hits the fan, and then freeze dried meat could be a real lifesaver. Yeah. I use, like I said, I do it already cooked. So then all you have to do is boil some water to add your add your freeze dried stuff to soups or whatever. Could you see put some freeze dried vegetables, freeze dried meat into boiling water, and you've already got your soup. Yeah, cooked freeze dried meat is what I do. Because I've taken freeze dried quail and freeze dried rabbit and just ate them straight from the bag. Then you don't have to have all that extra salt. Exactly. If you can't boil water and you can't cook, then if freeze dried, if you have it already cooked, you can eat it. If it's raw, you have to put it in the refrigerator. And if you don't have electricity, raw freeze dried meat is not very good. It can spoil on you before it rehydrates. Exactly, cuz all you need is a source of water and your freeze dried supplies. And remember, when it's freeze dried, the flavor is so enhanced because there's no moisture to water down the flavor with. Well, that's debatable. If you don't have water, it's still edible in the dry state, and it is more tastier. Just makes you thirsty. It's just like a lot of the freeze-dried vegetables, tomatoes, zucchini, cucumbers, and everything. When they're freeze-dried, they can become your crackers. I haven't watched The Walking Dead since they first came out. I think I watched 1 or 2 episodes, and that was it. And you know what you do during the apocalypse, zombie apocalypse? When you don't have electricity, but you still have food in your garden and you have surplus, you can use the sun to dry everything. It can't hold for 25 years, but it can at least hold you through to the next season. Exactly, Amy. I mean, Andy. Amy must be thinking about me. And you can also use the sun. If you got full, you can use the sun to even bake things for you. I wonder if Katrina's keeping any of her hides from her rabbits. Yep. Katrina has some good ones on cooking in her car. That's for sure. See, I don't have a car, but I would use aluminum foil and yeah, or a stainless steel cauldron with a lid. To do about the same thing if you got plenty of sun. Excuse me a second, my ear is bothering me. No, you don't need to run out and buy one. You can make one. Exactly, Erica. But Steve says in his apocalypse, he doesn't get any sun. So he's looking at the apocalypse of like you would get from too many volcanoes going off or a meteor hitting the earth. But Erica, that's right. Cardboard box and some foil. And you want a piece of glass to go over the lid to keep the heat in while you're cooking. I'm not touching that one, Andy. I refuse to touch that one. Get me in trouble. He's thinking of the next ice age. I'm getting another candlestick. Do you guys see where the Sahara dust is into Florida, going into Florida now? A lot of the preppers are saying that that if you were in a apocalypse situation, you better be near a cave. Then I get to thinking, well, what if there's earthquakes? That cave is not going to be safe. And he says, hubby doesn't want to eat rabbits, but he says they don't taste bad. He just can't think of eating them because he sees them growing up. But he did say if the zombie apocalypse ever hits, he would eat them. So if he had them freeze dried, he wouldn't know it was rabbit anyhow. Mostly if you tear it up to like shredded pork. I agree. The grandsons would love the bunny soup. Yeah, if he won't know what it is if it was freeze dried and like shredded meat. And C's got a point there. In apocalypse, you'd be surprised at what you would eat. When you're into survival, if it doesn't kill you, you'll eat it. Well, yeah, it's about time for me to get off here. And I think I'm going to post some of this in the kitchen. Post some questions in self-sufficient kitchen for people to think about and see if anybody answers anything. But everybody have a blessed day and see you tonight on Aaron's Live. Then tomorrow on Matt's Live. So have a blessed day.